This is the Petty Outdoors Podcast. What's going on, everybody? It's Kevin here, Petty Outdoors Podcast. Got a special guest on today, Mr. Evan Statler. Evan, how you doing, buddy?
Good.
So let's give us a little rundown here. How'd you get into hunting? Let's tell some stories, have a little fun.
All right.
First question. Tell us about your first deer. How it was, all that stuff.
Well, we were sitting in Hitman County. Well, about to drive down there. We stopped. We ate breakfast.
Where did we eat at?
I don't remember.
I think we ate Denny's.
That may have been. But we were going down there after we got ate breakfast. We just went down there. We sat. We had to makeshift a blind. We were sitting on the ground. We had, I think 4 people there, and we sat there for about 3-4 hours.
Who all was there? Who all was sitting on the ground?
Let's see, my pop, Amber, Kevin, and me were all sitting there, and Huntley was in just his stomach. Yeah, so we sat there about 3-4 hours, and we see some does, like nothing special. Then a little spike walks out. I'm like, oh, okay. We get it ready, got my gun up, and pretty much I shot and he dropped in his tracks.
That's where it all started, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were sitting there. I'll add into this a little bit. We sat there from probably noon till dark, which was close to like 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
When it was getting dark. We sat there a long time. And Evan was, what was he, 9?
Yeah.
8 or 9?
I think 9.
He had his 243 with him, I believe is what it was.
243 break action.
Yep. It was a good day. We got up. I think you got him in the neck, didn't you?
Yeah, I
He
got
dropped
him
in his
in the
tracks. We got up and got him taken care of, and that's where it all started for you, huh?
Yeah.
I got a similar story. I was 9 years old as well. It was juvenile weekend. We had a gun on layaway for me. It was a 30-30 single shot, kind of like yours, but it was iron sights. Didn't have a scope or anything. We had it on layaway at Kmart. We picked it up on the way to the woods, and I think we were running late too. I don't think we got there on time. But we jumped up in the stand. Wasn't there 5 minutes. The 6th pointer walked out. Actually, this one right here behind me. He walked out and probably about 60 or 70 yards, something like that. Put them old iron sights on him and let it eat. It's been history ever since.
Yeah.
But we had a pretty good year this year. How'd your year go? What do you think about it?
Well, considering I missed 2 bucks during archery season.
One being a pretty good one.
Yeah, one decent 8-point. Not decent, great. One of the
And
biggest.
technically you didn't miss that deer.
No, I skinned its back, but he still ducked my arrow.
Yeah. Wasn't your fault.
No, it's the deer's fault.
That's all right. He'll be there next year.
Hopefully.
We'll get him on the ground.
Unless he didn't already get killed.
We ain't seen him in a while, but you never know. A lot of times during rut and everything, they take off to different properties and chasing them does.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about the juvenile weekend with the gun, how all that worked out. I know a lot of you probably seen the YouTube video that came out. It's a pretty quick video, but kind of give them a rundown of how all that worked and how it happened.
Well, we'll start off at the very beginning. So, I spent the night here, and nothing unusual. He starts the video. That morning, we get the shot of me walking out, carrying the gun, and we go there, open the gate, go in, and, film me a little bit more, taking the gun out and everything. We walked back there. We were in the new stand that he built.
First deer ever killed out of that stand.
Yeah, first deer. And we weren't there 2 minutes, and we started the intro to the YouTube video, and then we done it, and he said, "Evan, don't move." All of a sudden, out of the blue, and
That was not set up. All that you see on the YouTube video was real in real time. We didn't stage that or anything. It just happened that way.
yeah, I was really surprised. I stood there like a statue, and I look out in the distance. Ain't nothing there. I thought there was something 200 yards. Couldn't see it, and we get a split second to move. I put my gun up, and I can see him. He's not 15 yards from us, probably less.
Probably 10, 12
Yeah.
yards at the most.
Then get my gun up. I see him. As soon as I get him in my sights, have a perfect shot on him. I pull the trigger. He goes running, and we get down about maybe 1-2 minutes after. We go down there. We're looking for blood, and there ain't nothing but blood just everywhere. We go down. Eventually, blood stops. Then we have to follow the trail that he's leaving with the grass being matted down. Then all of a sudden, there's this big circle in the middle of the field. I walk down there. He's laying right there, dead. He bled all the way out. Really not much blood to be left.
Heart shot.
Yeah, heart shot. Blew his heart in half. It was a pretty good shot.
Oh, yeah. That's what we do it for, man. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you shot the 308 that day, right?
Yeah, 308.
Blowed a pretty good size hole in.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got? You got anything for me? You got any questions you want to ask me?
Yeah. When did you first get the property, and what were your thoughts on it?
We got the property. I was probably, I was probably 13 years old. It's a little bit older than you are now.
Yeah.
And we originally had property down in Fayetteville, close to Alabama, that we hunted. It's where I killed my first deer at. It's where I killed probably the first 10 or 15 deer I'd ever killed at. And they sold that. I was heartbroken. I was so stuck on that property. Loved the place. There's deer all over it. And it wouldn't have mattered if we went to a sanctuary. I still wouldn't have been happy. But anyway, they told us that they were looking at another property here in Chapel Hill. And so I come out with them and got here. I think my granddad was with us at the time. Got here and I was not happy with it at all. I was used to big woods and hills and creeks and all that stuff. We get out here and it's wide open fields, very little woods, and what woods we do have is just real thick.
Yeah.
But I had to adapt. After the first probably year or so, I was into this place just like I was Lincoln County. But here we are, probably, let's say I'm 28 now, probably 14, 15 years later, and I've killed my biggest deer pretty much out of there. The oldest deer I've ever shot I killed out of there. I live 1 mile down the road. We're raising my family here. It all worked out good. It was God's plan.
Yeah.
So that's about all I got on that.
Well, I don't know if I have any more questions. Get any more questions for me?
I'm sure I can come up with something. You got a certain subject you want to talk on? You strictly hunting, or you want to?
But we can do anything. I don't care.
All right. Well, let's talk about stuff you like to do. What's your hobbies other than hunting?
Fishing.
That wasn't obvious or anything.
I got a go-kart. Love running that.
We just took the governor off that thing this evening, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that thing zooms.
It sped it up a pretty good bit.
Yeah.
We're working in about probably 4 or 5 inches of snow right now.
Yeah.
It's a solid sheet of ice outside as we speak. So we got over there and played on his go-kart, took the governor off. He was whipping that thing around.
Yeah. You get in snow, you start drifting.
Oh, yeah. So fishing. What kind of fishing you like to do?
No. Catfishing. I like catching bluegill. They're the easiest thing to catch. Went bass fishing a couple times. Never caught anything.
You did. You caught a smallmouth.
Oh, yeah.
One little
Creek
bitty
fishing.
smallmouth. Yeah.
Normally ponds, main place I fish. Not a big lake guy because we hardly ever go there. Yeah. What kind of fishing you like to do?
Anything that'll bite. I've always been a cat fisherman, but last year or two I've gotten into creek fishing. You've been with me a couple times.
Yeah, you can find them videos on Kim Petty Outdoor.
Yes. Yeah, Petty Outdoors YouTube page. There's one on there that sounds terrible. It's the first time I'd ever done that. I've done it with a waterproof GoPro, and it didn't turn out that great, but I caught some fish. That's the most exciting fishing, though.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a tournament this year over at the pond, though. Catfish tournament.
Yeah.
Try to turn it out big this time.
Hopefully.
I've never caught a fish at one.
You never?
Never caught a catfish at a catfish tournament over there.
I think I've caught 3 or 4, but
Really?
I got first place really close. There's like 3-4 minutes left, and all of a sudden, somebody catches the biggest fish I've ever seen.
That's usually how it works, ain't it?
Yeah.
I've won some tournaments down at Big Whiskers and stuff like the other pay lakes, but I've never won anything over here. Never caught anything over here, really, other than when we're not doing the tournament.
Yeah.
But, so, we done some sledding today. Threw some snowballs at each other. You got any battle scars? Any wounds?
No.
You pretty good?
Yeah.
I'm a little sore. I ain't as young as y'all cats no more.
From what?
Y'all beat me up, man.
Oh, we throw 2 snowballs at you.
Yeah. Throwing rocks in your snowballs. Y'all ain't slick. Slinging me around on go-karts.
Okay, I did do that.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? You think we ought to get up and go hunting in the morning?
I don't care. I could care less. I brought my cold stuff. I'm ready to go hunting.
I hear you. Well, I hope you brought your coat stuff because it's supposed to be -3 degrees in the morning that day break.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I'm down with all that, especially for a doe. It's doe only right now.
Oh, it is?
Yep. Doe only. Saturday morning, it's juvenile hunt, so you can shoot bucks then, but
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's worth it.
I don't know.
So what's your favorite kind of guns? Tell us about all your. I know you got a big airsoft collection and pellet gun collection. What's your favorite one?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna start with my favorite high caliber rifle. It's gotta be a 270. They're just powerful and they're really not that bad to shoot for some of the newer hunters. I mean, like, you can go out there and shoot that. Your shoulder ain't gonna be hurting or nothing. But yeah, they're powerful rounds. They'll go pretty far, but they're not that bad to shoot. Airsoft guns, of course, snipers and ARs. I'm not a big fan of spring anything. BB guns, I got a new Glock for Christmas. Glock blowback. That's probably my favorite. Yeah. I got a question for you. What's your favorite YouTuber?
My favorite YouTuber.
Yeah, on the platform.
I hate to say. I do. I don't know if I have a favorite. It's not a particular YouTuber, not one single person, but I like watching Seek One a lot.
Okay.
Suburban hunting.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite people to watch. They're the most informative and they do it the right way. Good
Yeah.
Christian guys. Yeah, they kill some big deer too.
Oh, yeah.
A lot bigger than anything we can kill down here.
Definitely. Trophy bucks.
Yeah. They go out and put in the work that we're not able to, though.
Yeah.
We got a lot of time that we got to spend working, and I know they do too, but I just don't have the time to get out and do some of the research that they do.
Yeah.
So you shot, let's see, how many deer did you kill this year?
I think. How many did I kill? Killed a buck.
You tagged out. No, you didn't tag out, did you? You
I still
a
got
buck
one more
tag.
tag. There's been a couple of small bucks walk out, but I've just passed on them.
Shot a bobcat.
Bobcat.
Tell us
yeah.
about that story.
Oh, okay. We get out there evening or morning.
No, it was evening.
Oh yeah, evening.
Wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
No, it was morning because we got out. After you shot that bobcat, we got down
Oh yeah, and we
and went
moved.
to the other stand.
Then we picked up that other tree stand.
Yeah,
Then we took it. Yeah. So what was it? Morning?
it was morning. Yeah.
Okay, morning. We start up. We go 10 acres. Where do we go?
It was on the back road. I don't have a name for that stand. It's in between the 10 acres and the front of the property there.
Alright, we're in the middle of the property pretty much. And we sit there for a little while. Then squirrels start going crazy. Worst I've ever heard them. And I said,
let me stop you for just a second. Make sure you break down the sequence of what was said and between me and you before you shut the bobcat. Make sure you break all that down.
Alright, so technically squirrels go crazy when they hear something, don't like something. I say, Kevin, why are they doing that? He said, well, first things first, you look up in the sky, see if there's any birds, hawks, anything that would make them do that. I look up, ain't nothing there. Then he said, if there ain't nothing there, then look on the ground, because there's something there that they don't like. I look down, and I see something running through. I didn't know what it was at first. I thought it was like a coyote, small coyote. And I say, no, that's a bobcat. I look at him. I grab my gun. I get up. He stops behind a tree. All I can see is his butt. And didn't take the shot because, well, it's just the smart thing to do.
Right.
Then,
I said right.
Yeah.
That's what we teach.
Then he finally runs out a little bit more. He stops. I don't even remember which way he was facing. I saw his face, and then I saw a body. So I aimed right behind the shoulder, pulled the trigger, and dropped in its tracks. And go up there, because there ain't nothing else going to be there after 308's been shot off. And we go up there. We thought we done blew him in half because powerful round, small animal. Perfect shot. Really didn't blow him up that much. We got pictures of him. He was a beautiful bobcat. First ever predator I've ever killed.
First one you ever even shot at, I believe, man.
We shot that fox.
Yeah, you shot at a fox one time.
Yeah, but that shot like 2-3 foot high because trigger.
Yeah, that gun, it's the same 308 you shot your deer with during the juvenile weekend.
Yeah.
I done a trigger job on it. It's a Remington 700. It's a great gun, but the trigger was extremely hard. You wasn't used to it. I wasn't used to it. All the guns we've got trigger jobs done. Most of them do anyway.
Yeah.
So I got in there and I done some fixing on it, and we got it down to about 2 pounds.
Yeah. It's really light.
That's about what you need to make good, accurate shots.
Yeah.
And you did. You hit that bobcat perfect.
Yeah.
So, what's your plans for next deer season? What do you want to accomplish?
Go for a bigger buck than a 6-point.
Kind of walk your way up the ladder a little bit.
Yeah. I've killed one spike and 3 or 4 6-points. But the last one I killed was a decent sized one. I'm hoping for an 8-point or bigger.
Yeah. You want to work your way up.
Yeah.
You're a pretty good shot. As a kid, I feel like I was a pretty good shot. I taught myself young, how to breathe and how to use the trigger and squeeze and just how to be accurate with a rifle. Break down to me how you go through your shot progression. What's some things that you do? What can you tell other kids at your age that can help them be as accurate and as good a shot as you?
I've been practicing for years, shooting airsoft guns, BB guns, all the way up to high caliber rifles.
I remember the first high caliber rifle you ever shot, that 223.
Yeah, that 223. I've shot 22s a million times. I've probably at least shot a couple of 1,000 rounds out of 22s. Killed my first squirrel with a 22 pistol, which was revolver.
Yeah, revolver pistol.
Revolver, iron sights, not really even on sight. Kind of saw him and shot, and he died. Kept the tail of him. Still have it.
You got a certain progression that you go through? You breathe a certain way, or?
I really can't tell just because I'm so used to guns and everything about them. But I normally just take my time, get the perfect angle, everything, try to get the best shot I can have, and then pull the trigger. But normally when I'm in the stand, it's just really a mental thing. I know where to aim. I normally see the deer in the sights, and I have a perfect shot, and I'm going to pull the trigger.
So it all comes natural.
Yeah, pretty much takes me less than 5 seconds to pull the trigger.
Right. Well, that's big whenever you can do that, like that deer you shot during your juvenile weekend. Now, I bet you didn't have that deer in the scope for, 2 or 3 seconds before you shot?
Probably less.
Yeah.
I had a deer during muzzleloader 6-point. I think that was this year or last year.
That was last year.
And I saw him. It was a little 6-point, itty bitty. Had a nice body on him. And I've never shot a muzzleloader before. First time ever muzzleloader.
A Magnum muzzleloader at that.
Yeah, 150 grains. Never shot one before. And I was planning on practicing with one before I actually shoot something with it, or I wound it. And he walks out. Kevin didn't want to shoot him. He came in about 5 yards from us. He blows. He runs. He stops right at the edge of the wood line. He says, "Evan, you want to shoot this deer?" I said, "Yeah." I take the gun. I hold it up and I go, boom! Big white smoke everywhere. And we go down. Kevin's like, he did not hit this deer. First time ever shooting a muzzleloader.
Hold on, let me pause you. I had full faith in you, but what I didn't have faith in was you shooting that gun for the first time and being accurate with it. But I was wrong.
We go down there. Didn't see any blood at first. He says, "I can smell blood, but I don't see any." I'm like, dang it, I really hope I didn't miss this deer. I kind of turn over, and he's laying right there, not 5 yards from where I shot him.
Mm-hmm. And for those of you that don't know, when a deer is rutting, and I believe that was rut because it was shooting muzzleloader. When a deer is rutting, they put off a distinct odor, and it's pretty strong. You can smell it from
really
a little ways
strong.
away. They rub up against a tree or something, you can smell that they've been there.
Oh, yeah.
So I knew when we got up there, I knew he was pretty close. I didn't know exactly where, but you made a good shot. You surprised me. That gun kicks pretty hard.
I surprised myself.
You're not scared of it, are you?
I'll shoot any gun. I've shot shotguns, anything.
You shot my 7mm, I believe, didn't you?
I haven't shot that.
I thought you did.
I don't think I did.
I don't know.
I may have.
I'm gonna beg to differ on that one. I'm pretty sure you shot it one time up in the country.
I'll shoot it. I mean,
if you shot that muzzleloader, you can shoot 7mm.
I ain't scared of it. I'll shoot anything.
Yeah.
Only gun I'm not really afraid of, but kind of hesitant to shoot. My pop has is it a 44 Magnum?
No, 454 Casull.
Oh yeah.
That one I don't like shoot.
I've shot the small rounds through it. I'm not in for the big rounds.
Yeah. It's miserable.
That hurts.
It's miserable.
Kevin's the only one that shot it. Pop wanted him to shoot it. He's never even shot him. He wants to go shoot a deer with it without even shooting it.
You got to hold on to that thing. It'll break your wrist if you're not careful.
And I'm not trying to be rude or anything. He'd shoot shotguns all the time. This one time we were testing out his new shotgun. They got like a AR-15 style shotgun. We're shooting, what is it, 7.5 shot? 7 shot?
No, I think we got some of the bigger rounds so that it would function right.
I don't even remember what it was.
I think it was 5 shots.
Whatever they were big rounds. I magnumed it, no big problem. He shoots it. Every time he shoots, he takes a step back before he's like at the edge of the pond.
Yeah.
And he just keeps shooting it. He keeps walking backwards. I mean, if he shoots that gun, I guarantee it's going to blow out his hands.
No, he can shoot it. I'm confident he can shoot it, but it's not. It's not
going to be pleasant.
No, it's not. It's not pleasant at all. But I don't know. You can definitely kill a deer with it. It's pretty accurate.
Oh yeah.
I think
with
I hit
his
that.
new red dot and everything.
I hadn't shot it with the red dot. I shot it with the iron sights.
He got a new $200 red dot for it. He got it for free because battery didn't work on it. They just said keep it, and they sent him a new one.
Huh.
And so he pretty much got 2 of them for less than $200, pretty much free.
Can't beat that.
No, he did some work on it. Now it works perfectly fine. He has it on there. Then he has one on .22 pistol. It's accurate as it can be.
You could hunt squirrel with it.
Oh yeah.
So what's your most memorable hunt? You have one hunt that sticks out in particular, or you just kind of all run together? Or?
I mean, kind of all around together, but I do have one at my first turkey hunt, first or second ever turkey hunt. I was shooting a 20 gauge single shot shotgun with turkey loads in it. I was sitting down, I think on my knees or something. I take it, I see the turkey's head pop over the ridge.
We called that turkey in from a good ways out.
He was maybe 200 yards, and I see him. I don't know why I was hesitant. I was like, I'm gonna miss this turkey. I don't know why I did that. Should have been more confident in myself. Now thinking about it, but it was like, you're not gonna miss with all those pellets. I mean, you're gonna be dead on. I was like, okay. I see his head pop over. I put the dot on him, and the shotgun blows me back on my back.
You laid flat out on the ground for a minute.
The shotgun was sticking up in the air. Luckily, it was only a single shot. Pump would have been fine, but only shotgun I had at the time. And we go over there. He's flopping around like turkeys do. They're weird.
Right.
And go over there, do the proper procedure, and yeah, that's pretty much my favorite hunt that we've done.
So you put that above deer and everything?
Pretty much, because it's the funniest and most memorable.
We got to get you on a big buck. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I bet that one will top it.
Oh, yeah.
But that turkey hunt was fun. I've never really been a big caller. I can't call turkeys real good. There's guys that are way better than me. I can manage, but we got back there, and I told you where I thought they might be.
Yeah.
We sat down and done a little call, and the turkey came right to us.
Yeah.
It was a good day. We wasn't hunting maybe, 30 minutes?
30 minutes at the most. We kind of sat down behind a tree at one point and didn't see nothing. Caught a little bit, didn't see nothing. We went walking. We hear something gobbling over there. We get behind a bush, and Kevin starts calling. You can hear it start getting closer. He'll gobble, then it'll get closer. Gobble, even closer. Then all of a sudden, whenever he gets over the ridge, boom! No turkey left.
All he done was stuck his head up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Big old red head. So probably my favorite hunt with you, me and you hunted a lot together.
Oh, yeah.
But my favorite one is probably when your first deer was pretty cool too, but that deer you shot that we posted a YouTube video on, that when your gun was shooting high.
Oh, the one where I broke his spine?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was probably my favorite hunt.
That was
with you.
good. We had 3 people in the stand. We had a single person stand behind us.
That's where I was.
Then we had a 2-person stand up in the middle of the tree. My pop was there and me. So, let's do a rundown of that.
Yeah.
He was, how long?
He's a couple hundred yards away.
Yeah. Maybe 150. He was at the end of a lane. I shoot. I had it right on him. And you could see I shot real high. But it went right over his back. So, it went over his back. So, he come running towards us.
Right to us.
Yeah, right to us. He looks back, perfectly broadside. I'm trying to get the gun open because I'm just not going to hunt with that gun anymore because I've had a couple of technical difficulties with it. It's mainly the scope, but the safety's weird on it. If you don't have it switched right, it won't break open. And I'm over there banging it on my knee trying to get it open. My pop gets the gun. He starts banging on it. He flips the safety and finally gets it open. We put a new round in there. We break it back. And he's already right at the edge. He starts running. And Kevin stops him enough so I can get a shot off. But it hits his spine. He breaks his back. He lays down. He just gets up and walks off like it was nothing.
At that point, we were reloading, getting you another bullet.
Yeah.
We're trying to get another shot off as fast as possible.
And that one we were able to do pretty fast, but
I knew that as soon as you shot that second shot and you hit high like that, I knew your gun was shooting high.
yeah.
I think in between that shot and the very last shot that finally put him down, I
Yeah.
told you to aim low, didn't I?
Yeah, I aimed probably not even lower than his belly. I aimed right in the middle, like his leg. I aimed right where it bends at, and perfect. So whenever I shot, it blew. It blew his lungs out. I didn't make a heart shot because
He dropped in his tracks right there.
yeah,
That last time.
because he was already had enough. I guess he's like just
Yeah. So we got back and we shot your gun. I think it shot, what, a foot high? Something
like 2 foot.
Really?
It was really high.
I think I ended up figuring out that your scope was loose.
Yeah, we were
Tighten
there
it down.
after we were at my mom and dad's house, pretty much my house, and we were looking at it. We're over there playing with the scope. We bump it a little bit, and you can see that the cross arrows twist every time you bump it. So, I mean, the gun's been through a lot. If you barely touch it, it'll go off sight.
Yeah. So this year, you hadn't shot it at all this year. Like you shot my 308 every time we went.
I've been shooting bigger rounds. I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, it's good for you. Yeah, when I was your age, I was shooting 308s, 30-06s, stuff like that too. Give you a little more knockdown power.
Yeah.
All right. You got any questions for me? We've been on 31 minutes so far. We'll wrap it up whenever you get ready if you ain't got no more questions.
I mean, what is your most, what is the best hunt that you've ever been on? I mean, it could be with me or without me. Let's first do without me. What's your favorite hunt?
I've had a lot. I've got a couple that stick out. My favorite hunt will always be my first deer, just because I had both my parents with me. It was my first deer. I'll never forget that. But I had one here recently that I plan on releasing a podcast for, specifically for that hunt. It was the non-typical I just killed. That's probably my favorite one, other than my first deer. I'll give you a rundown of it, just a little simple one. But like I said, I am going to release the whole podcast just on that. But it all started with that hunt. Me and Amber's got a baby on the way. You know, he's due in February 4th, a month from today, actually.
Yeah.
So we were going over to the property to get some barn wood off the barn, and I was going to build a cover for the electrical panel in the baby's room. And if you go down the road going toward the country from the house here, we're only like a mile away, but if you go down that road, there's a field on the left-hand side of the road once you get close to the property that kind of backs up to our property. You can see our property line from the road across maybe a 15-acre field. So we were going over there to get the barn wood, and I looked across that field and I seen 2 deer out there. And for the week before that, we hadn't seen many deer at all. We've hunted hard and hadn't seen much. So I got to study him a little bit, and I noticed it was a nice buck, and I could tell by the posture that it was a big old deer. So I immediately went in the gate there, and I snuck around to the back side of the deer and pulled a deer stand off of a tree and moved it over in the patch of woods that he was pretty close to there, the closest I could get to him. So anyway, I figured that I'd probably run him out of there, you know. I had planned to go back the next day and try to kill him, and we come out of the woods, or we come out of the gate there after we get the barn wood and everything, and he was still in the field. So he never knew I was there. We wasn't probably 100 yards from him. So the next day I got off work early. I actually had a customer cancel, so it worked out perfect. But got off work, and I headed over there at like noon and sat in that stand. And I knew where I placed the stand at, I knew that he would either have to go across in front of me, or he would have to cut across behind me in another block of timber to get to that field. There's no other way there other than going through people's front yards. I knew he didn't do that. So I sat there till probably 3:45, 4 o'clock, and at that time, the day before, he was already in that field. So I figured he probably used the other direction. So I said, well, it's close to the end of the season. You know, I'm running out of time. I got 1 buck tag left. I'm going to try to make something happen here. I got down and I started heading towards that field. The field's probably 120, 130 yards from where I was at. And as I topped the hill there, I can see down in the field, and I seen that there was a doe and a small 6-pointer in the field. And they were just running around. The doe acted hot. And I think it was December the 26th or 27th when I killed that deer. But the doe was acting hot, freaked me out a little bit. I just knew if that buck was in the area that he was going to be with her. So probably 10 minutes later, he come walking out of the woods. As soon as he got to her, she took off full blast run right towards me. I'm in the edge of the woods there. And I literally have to jump out of the way to keep her from hitting me. And I've got the 308, the same one you shot your deer with. And so I flipped it off safety and I zoomed the scope all the way down, which it's got a long range scope on it. So the lowest zoom that I got was 6. No way I could see a deer through that scope at 5 yards. So I seen the buck coming behind her and I knew it was either then or never. So he ran pretty much into me. I raised the gun, I put it on my shoulder. The barrel was probably 2 foot from him when I fired the shot. He was in the air when I shot. Kind of just locked up, hit the ground, slid to a stop. That's the most memorable hunt I've ever had, other than my first deer.
Can you explain what a non-typical is for the newer hunters listening to this podcast?
Yeah, so a non-typical, if you look at a deer, it's pretty much exactly what it says. It's not typical. It's so on a mainframe deer, you got it's pretty much even numbers. So you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, whatever. Most of the time, one side is the same as the other, and just being symmetrical. So non-typical is when you have something that is irregular on one side or the other, or maybe on both sides. And this deer in particular, he had a unicorn point, is what I call it, growing out of the center of his head. Wasn't even connected to his antlers or nothing. Just growing out of the center of his head. Had antlers going every which way, nothing symmetrical about him. So that's pretty much what a non-typical is.
That may help.
Excuse that phone there.
That may help a lot of newer hunters to tell if they're whatever they shoot at or see is typical or non-typical.
Mm-hmm.
So it may help them figure out if they want to kill it or not.
Right. What is your favorite? Would you rather have a non-typical or would you rather have a big typical?
I mean, a non-typical, they're really cool. I mean, they're most unique in deer. So I'd probably rather have a non-typical because they just look the coolest and they normally have the most of points on one side and the other. And
I agree. I would have to agree. Non-typical, there's really not a whole lot out there that's like them. There's not two that are really the same. A 10-point typical, you can put 5 of them side by side, and if they're around the same size, they look a lot alike.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you. Any more questions?
I mean, yeah. What was it? Whenever you first figured out that Amber was having a baby, the first Huntley and the second Easton, what were your thoughts on both of them?
So we're going a little different direction here.
Yeah.
I like it. So with Huntley, we had a lot of trouble. We were young, still are young actually, but we were young, wanted a kid, and it wasn't easy, you know. So when it came up that we found out we were pregnant with her, I was ecstatic. There's nothing like it, not a feeling in the world like it. It's just different being a dad, especially for the first time.
Yeah.
With Easton, it was a total surprise because I had no idea. We weren't trying to have a baby. She was going to just a regular doctor's appointment, just a checkup, and she came home. I noticed she was rushing, her mom out of the house.
Yeah.
And that's not like her at all. So I kind of thought something might have been weird, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So as soon as she left, Amber walked in the living room with a pregnancy test, and it was positive. So that was wild. It was definitely different. 2 totally different situations, same outcome.
what did you think what did you think was a matter whenever she started making them leave, like rushing them out?
I didn't know. It happened pretty quick.
You're just kind
It
of like,
never really crossed my mind that she might be pregnant.
yeah, like, oh, maybe she's got something.
Yeah, I didn't know if she didn't feel good or what, but I knew it wasn't normal. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what it was.
You got any more questions for me?
Let me think here. Let me get in my notebook. I can come up with something.
He's got notes, and I'm just making stuff up on the spot.
Yeah, Evan's winging it. I've got like a whole book over here.
He's got a whole.
Okay, I've got one. I didn't even read this. I just came up with it in my head as I was reading. What would you say to any kids younger than you, your age, or I mean even an adult? What would you say to them about hunting, and what is your, see how to word this here, what is your persuasion to them to get them in the woods and make them want to go out and kill a deer or kill a squirrel or catch a fish? What in that has gotten you to love it so much?
Well, it's just, if I had anything to say is, if you're looking for something to do to pass the time and have fun with your family, friends, anybody, just go out, throw something in the water, catch a fish, go out, 22, something small, pellet gun even, go out, kill a squirrel, kill, I don't even know, anything, and just the feeling of it, you get adrenaline rush. It's like the best feeling in the world, and you just it kind of gets to you whenever you kill something. It's not that you're sad for the animal. I mean, like, ain't no person not sad for the animal, but it's not that you're sad for the animal. It's just the thinking of, I have done something that I've never done before, and just the feeling of it, it's the best thing in the world.
I agree. And it's something that at some point in your family's history,
They've had to do.
they've had to do it to keep everybody alive.
There wasn't no McDonald's, no Chick-fil-A,
No
no
grocery stores.
whatever.
If you wanted meat, if you wanted protein, you had to go out in the woods and you had to hunt it.
Yeah.
So what would you say to what would you suggest them do to get into it? What's the first steps to getting into it?
What I would do, I'd maybe watch a couple YouTube videos on it, just to get educated in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd maybe go to the store, buy a trail camera, search what that is if you're a city person, and y'all probably gonna have to search most of this up if you're a city person and you know what I'm talking about. Go store, buy you a cheap rifle, maybe something small, 243, maybe something light, something you can shoot. Then go out, buy you a ground blind, little tent, set it up in a edge of a field or something that you know a deer would maybe be in. Then go there, buy you some camo at Walmart or something, and buy something cheap, get you binoculars, maybe a grunt call, but that's more for the upper end if you get more into it. Then go out, sit, be quiet, and just sit and wait. If you see a deer, aim right behind the shoulder and pull the trigger.
That's simple, huh?
Simple. Buy some ammo. Now, that's going to be hard to do.
We suggest, and I know you'll agree when I say this, before you go into the woods and try to shoot a deer, do a lot of practicing.
Yeah, I
Not for you.
completely agree on that.
Not
for the animal,
For the animal.
so you don't make it suffer.
Right.
That's the worst thing to do.
Yep.
Let the animal suffer. You want to make a good, fatal shot.
A lot of people get the mindset that because we're hunters that we don't care about the animal. What do you got? What do you got to say about that? Do you care about the animals? Do you not care about them? You can be honest here.
I mean, I completely care about them. I mean, you know, people in Africa, they're killing giraffes and everything. They're the beautiful animals. But it's if you never kill deer, there'd be so many of them, they would take up all our resources. Like the giraffes down in Africa, they have to manage them because that's what they rely on. They rely on their vegetables. They rely on their plants and animals.
And the giraffes eat those.
Yeah, they eat the plants, which would kill all the animals. Then eventually they eat all the plants, killing themselves, which would make all our animals, which all the people in Africa, they wouldn't have anything. So,
not to mention, the more populated a certain animal is, the more diseases get caused.
yeah.
Like deer with the EHD, we had Hickman County up there that was loaded with deer, 3 years ago?
Yeah, there ain't none, hardly any.
Now, I think Mark's been up there 16 times this year, 16 different hunts, and has not seen one deer.
Yeah, blue tongue, anything. All the viruses are going around. But with deer, they're a little bit different. You want to have doe management and you want to have buck management. Doe management is if you have too many does in one area, you definitely just want to take them out. And you can kill as many does as you want a year. What's the limit
3
for
a day.
does? 3 a day. Which you could go out, if you get lucky, kill 3 does that day. And you have doe management because you're taking some of the does off that are overpopulated. And buck management is whenever you have too many bucks around and you need to take out some of the older bucks from the herd because they're just...
A lot of times them older bucks will kill the younger deer. The
They'll
old bucks
fight.
are tough.
Yeah, they'll fight and they'll get a horn jabbed into them and kill them.
Get locked up.
Yeah, locked up. They'll kill themselves, kill everything.
Yep. So if you were, let's go back to the new person hunting thing. If you were a new person hunting, you said 243 would be what you would start out with?
I mean, yeah, because...
Now, would you suggest go straight to deer hunting, or would you suggest small game?
I mean, yeah, definitely small game first because you could use a little bit lower caliber. Maybe go hunt a rabbit or something.
You don't really need camo or anything for that.
No, you just kind of walk in the woods and you see squirrel on the tree, rabbit on the ground. You take it, get yourself a good prop against the tree, and just take your time on the shot. It ain't got to be rushed. And if you miss it, well, you miss it because that's the fun in this. You're going to miss some and you're going to hit some. I mean, you're never going to hit everything you see. I've missed deer before. It's understandable.
It happens.
Yeah.
If you hunt long enough, you're going to wound deer. You're going to wound animals. It happens. One of them deer run off or them squirrels run off or whatever, if they do happen to pass away from the wound, there's something else that eats off of that.
Oh, yeah.
Coyotes eat off of a deer, foxes, bobcats, vultures. I mean, there's so much that happens. It's natural. A deer don't live very long anyway. So all these deer that you see on the side of the road dead and all that stuff, yeah, it's not good. People are tearing their cars up and stuff, but at the end of the day,
You're
something
feeding
else
an animal.
something else is eaten. So it's not like it's going to complete waste.
No.
Not most of the time anyway.
Not at all.
So what do we do? What are some of the things we do during the summer to kind of get us to deer season?
We this year we're hoping going to put some food plots out, and we fill deer feeders with corn, protein, put salt blocks out, put mineral blocks out, just something to get the deer, like smaller deer when they're born, baby deer, let them grow, get protein, get the nutrients that they need to become bigger and stronger. So that season there'll be some nice deer out that
Good healthy deer.
healthy, ain't skinny. So we pretty much do everything we can do to make the deer healthy.
Yes, sir. I agree. So this year we're gonna try to get your brothers in the woods.
Yeah, we've took them twice this year. First time ever hunting. They're 8, I think, which is sad because they're my brothers and I don't know their age. They are twins, so
We got to get them shooting. We got to get them in
Yeah.
there and get them practicing.
this summer we're hopefully getting them out, let them shoot some bigger rounds.
And a lot of that is going to be on you.
Yeah.
A lot of that, teaching them the art of hunting and all that, is going to be on you. They're going to have a special respect for you for teaching them what you teach them and showing them the way. You might not think it right now. I know y'all bicker and stuff back and forth all the time. That's understandable. I never really had a brother. I got a brother, but he was 15 years older than me. So I didn't see that part of it. But in 10 years, man, y'all are going to depend on each other. So it's on you, buddy.
Yeah.
You got to take care of these boys. You got to show them the ropes. Show them the ropes. Took somebody showing you.
Yeah.
Pop stayed on you. I've worked with you a lot. You're a pretty good hunter.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I guess we're going to wrap it up here. I do have one thing I want to say before we leave out. I got a challenge for everybody. I challenge you right now. Take a kid hunting. If you are an avid hunter and you've killed big deer, killed a lot of deer, and you enjoy the outdoors, what more could you do to prolong this sport and to keep everything going and pass it along other than take a kid hunting? It's not something you have to do. It's not something that is fun all the time. It is 95% of the time, but a lot of times it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. You're teaching a young person something that is not necessarily easy to pick up. But at the end of the day, when you go to sleep at night, if you have taught one kid hunting and fishing and the outdoors, you're passing on a lifestyle. And I challenge you to do that. I challenge you to take at least one per year. I've been able to do that for the past 7 or 8 years. I've took, not necessarily a kid, but somebody new hunting and got them on their first deer. If you're able to do that, I want you to post it to our Petty Facebook page, Petty Outdoors Facebook page. Send us a message, send us some pictures. Be good to share on our page. I'll mention you in a podcast. I will get you on a podcast if you want. We're just out here having fun with this, but it's a challenge. It is a challenge, and I am desperately asking you to do this. Take a kid hunting, take somebody new hunting. It's huge. You don't even have a clue how big it is.
I got something to add to that.
Okay.
You know how you said post on a Facebook page?
Yep.
You ain't got to just do that. You can post on Instagram. Show other people what to do. Show them a lifestyle that you and that person will love for hopefully the rest of their lives. And they'll be able to pass it on. You can make a YouTube channel. That works. You can show other people what to do. And you can make educational videos on that, like showing new hunters like what to do to field dress a deer, to gut a deer, how to take the meat off, show them what to do at a processor, show them
Spread knowledge.
Yeah, spread knowledge.
So that's pretty much exactly what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
If you do exactly what we're doing right now and just get one person to go hunting that maybe wouldn't have otherwise, then that is a win.
Yeah.
If one person hears this and takes a kid hunting because of this here podcast, man, it's a win.
Oh yeah.
It's done everything I wanted it to do. I don't ever expect to make a penny doing this, but if it gets one kid in the woods that wouldn't have been either way, then man, we've done it.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys, we will sign off here. We'll get back with y'all on another one, and thank y'all for listening. Hope y'all get out in the woods and have fun. And remember, take a kid hunting. Thank y'all for listening again.